Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Apologies for being late. Our beloved co-host, Grumpy Granny, has gone missing in action. She's probably wandering the halls of the nursing home as we speak. So hopefully she'll pop on sooner rather than later. I hope everyone's been well. We missed last week because I was plotting some world domination, and unfortunately I couldn't get out of being away for Thursday, but I've missed you all. So I'll say a quick hello to the chat. Good morning, Marilyn. How are you? Hope you're well. So as per normal, Grumpy Granny's not here to be the gatekeeper, so you're more than welcome to pop into the StreamYard link that I've added there. Basically, come in, have a chat. You don't have to, make it accountability focused. You're more than welcome to pop in and say hello and do whatever you want to do. And quite possibly, if you're an older person, you're more than welcome to take over Granny's spot. That's good. You can't keep you down. Like I just said, Marilyn, I know we've been talking in the chat, but yeah, if you want to, like I said, if you want to jump in at any time, you're more than welcome to. Just jump in through that one. Cool. Yeah, I put my makeup on. That's why I'm running a couple of minutes late. Flipping Farm Girl, good morning. Paul, yeah, the daylight savings actually threw me as well, and it threw the live as well. It actually StreamYard defaults to Australian Eastern Standard Time. I wasn't actually wasn't expecting that, so I had to go back and fix it quite quickly. Loving your app still, Paul, using it. It's still having the problem with the comment field, but I just do around that now. That's no problem. Good morning, Amanda. How are you? Graham, how are you? Hilo, how are you? What catched your latest video last week? I don't know if you put one out previously. Morning, Cara. she's gone senile, Wayne. I don't know where she is. She's floating around somewhere. Yes, we could be salty together, apparently. Yeah, there's a lot of things to be salty about at the moment if you're obviously going off what YouTube says. Yeah, so I'm not too sure how StreamYard works. It must be defaulting to the Australian Daylight Saving, the standard time. So that's pretty much what we do at the moment. Yes, but what's ever been happening with everyone? Everyone's sales been good or been slow? Like a lot of the American YouTubers are complaining that the sales are slow over there. I'm finding that my sales are pretty mediocre to midline, I suppose. Nothing spectacular and nothing, obviously daunting. So that's always a good thing. But I'd like to push it up a bit higher, being Q4 now. But I think that will come across. Morning, Dave. How are you? Well, that's good. That's good. I'm also going through an item not received at the moment, very similar to what Kara is, I suppose. But it's basically, long story short, this man had a video game delivered to a pharmacy hub, like one of those hub locations. It was delivered 2.5 weeks ago, hasn't gotten picked it up, and it's obviously launched an item not received. Probably wants to get his money back. So that's slowed the sales on my end. So probably the reason. Okay, sales are picking up over that way, which is good. Do you promote your listings, Hilo, or you're not on the promotion bandwagon? I can't remember. Yeah, I think she has forgotten to change her clock. I spoke to her a couple of minutes ago, and she was frantically running around trying to work out what was going on. So we can't take her anywhere. This is why you don't work with old people. So. Oh well, I'll make sure I chastise her for next week. She'll be in line. Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's been. I woke up to a couple of sales last night. But there's been a few stretches there where I actually didn't have any sales overnight, which is quite uncharacteristic. But it's been up and down, and I think I was watching a live this morning from a gentleman in Canada, and he was basically saying that if he has a really good sales day, then he gets smashed for the following 2 days, and I'm finding that as well. Yeah, I'll have a quite substantial sales day, then the next couple of days are quite low on traffic and low on everything. So. Very few on promoting flooded categories. Yeah, okay. Sales are up and up. Record breaking month again last month. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, no, we Oh, hang on. We got Uncle Wayno here. You see me struggling, Wayno?
Yeah, I thought I'd come in and save you.
Put me out of my misery. I'm not a one-man octopus. What do you sell, Flipping Farm Girl? Is it DVDs from memory? Or I can't remember. How are you, Wayno?
Oh, I'm all right. I just woke up not long ago.
Yeah, I think Granny's still in bed, tell you the truth.
Is she say she's coming on, is she?
Yeah, she said she was going to come on, like within the next 30 seconds after I spoke to her. So God knows when she's probably fallen over and can't get up. This is what happens with old people, Wayno. Look who we got. Oh, look, the afternoon shift's arrived.
Hello, boys and girls.
Hello, Leanne. You've missed half the chat.
Oh, well, just never
They're all
mind.
missing you. They're all missing you for some reason.
Well,
I'm not too sure why.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's nice, isn't it? G'day, Uncle Wayno.
Hey, Leanne, how you going?
I'm going pretty well, really.
Yeah, so Wayno's my knight in shining armor. He came in to rescue me. He's seen me floundering around, throwing my testicles all over the place.
Well, there's nothing new about that, is there, really?
No, that's right. Yeah, I need someone to bounce off. I don't like talking to myself on the screen.
I still haven't decided what I'm doing today. I was going to go for a drive, I was thinking, but I can't. I'm one of those, I never plan anything. So it's just sort of like, oh, well, I'll pack my orders and see how I feel afterwards. So, but now
so so it's definitely a procrastination day, is it?
I don't really procrastinate. I just don't like to decide until it happens.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which is really annoying for people that want to make plans with me.
True. So how's my sound for you guys?
Yeah, it's good.
Is it all right? Not tinny or anything?
No, it's no different.
Because I'm just trying a new, well, it's not a new, but it's a lavalier microphone that I had. And I'm just trying it instead of the, big one that sits on the desk.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I think you probably sound pretty clear, actually, coming from my end. I don't know. You'd have to tell through the chat, but yeah, no, Marilyn says it sounds good.
Oh, good.
Maz listing some new stock, so the sales they haven't started up again, taking forever to get through the below standard raised. Standard raised. So were you below standard? Did you say?
Oh, yes. Yeah, because Maz had stopped when she was unwell, hadn't been listing any new stuff, and then she cleared out her store of all the crapola. So a bit like you, she took a lot of stuff out, which meant that that was going to have a bit of an effect on her traffic and stuff. So she's got to get back to getting some stuff listed and some stuff sold, and get going again.
Oh, okay. I just assumed that she must have fallen below standard. So,
well, yeah, she has, because she hasn't been doing anything, so she's gone below standard. So she's got to get things moving again. But she has organised, because she can't always get out and thrift at the op shops herself. She has organised a source that's actually getting stuff for her and sending it, and she got her first lot yesterday, and they look really, really good. So that's really good.
Yeah, have a look into that, Maz. Like, if you're below standard, because you should default to above standard as the default. So you've obviously done something on the eBay end that they're not happy with. Either your late shipment or your defects and all these different things push you down below standard. Realistically, I suppose how I would do that situation is list a lot of cheap stock that will fly quickly. Just basically, because if it really goes on the metrics of obviously how much stock you sell. Being below standard, you'll be pushed right below, right to the bottom of all the listings as well, and you'll be paying a higher fee as well. So definitely look into what's caused that, if that's the case, if you are below standard, because like I said, it's not a default thing. You'll default to above standard. So
yeah, she said she's got 2 late shipments. So I think that must have been at some point when she wasn't well and couldn't get the stuff.
Yeah, and that's right.
Time.
Yeah.
So,
it might be a case of just finding something really cheap at the op shop that's in demand, and pricing it half price plus postage just to flood it out, just to get those ratios up.
Or I guess even some of this lovely new stock she's got, maybe forego full price on a few of them just to get things turning over.
Well, that's right. Yeah, and you need to move it as quickly as you can, Maz, because they'll reassess your account every month, I think it is, and potentially they can look at terminating it. I have heard of that in the past, so don't quote me on that. Speak to eBay, but definitely get stock moving, get the sales through. Morning, how are you?
Morning, Anthony.
Books closed and other shit. Oh, other shit as well. Okay.
Good on you, Jane. That's the way. Good country girl talk there.
Good sales, yeah.
Mm.
I slept in. Kafan, how are you?
Good morning, Kafan. Well, yeah, I've been surprised because this week after being on time away, and as I said, I had all my promotions turned off for quite a while. Yeah, like yesterday and the day before, I've had really, really good sales. So,
yeah, no, it's good.
Exciting. I will show you my banger that I listed yesterday morning, miss. It's a pure tie silk little jacket and sold it for $99 last night. So same day.
It's a bit small for the octopus, but I might give Wayno first dibs on that. How your sales been going, Wayno?
All right. My store's pretty stuffed at the moment. It has, like, I spent months not really listing, so it's just taken time to build it up because also I can't find any good DVD deals. So just listing stuff that I've had sitting around for ages. So last week I needed to pump it up a bit, so I listed a few high-end things and I sold them. So
yeah. And that's I think my stuff as well. Like, I'm actually going through the item specifics at the moment. Granny will be happy to know them under 1,000 now, so I've knocked out 500 of them.
Yeah,
so
good.
Finding that's slowly doing an uptick, but I'm trying to increase my average ASP to about the $75 to $100 mark. So I'm trying to clear out a lot of the bottom end stuff, which is probably the reason why the sales are slowed down, because obviously $100 items aren't going to fly out the door all the time. So
personally, I wouldn't bother with the item specific unless they're. You can see when in the item specifics how many searches there are. So even like a lot of the recommended ones, they're really low searches. It's not worth it. But if they're higher ones, I'd put them in.
I have a slight problem with it because with my AEDST, I get a bit of OCD, and forms that aren't fully filled out really like get to my brain. So, I mean, it's easy enough for me to go through and whip in most of them, but what I do, the ones that I can't fill out, I go back in and tick the box when it comes up as that they want you to fill them out. I just go back in because if you do it on the computer, you can tick that box that says, don't remind me about these again, and then it goes away.
Yeah, and I'm finding it's giving me an opportunity to go back through the listing and just clean it up as well.
Hang on. I was having it go all flashy like the octopus was last week.
Yeah, it's probably the lighting. I still haven't done it, Graham. I haven't fixed up the camera yet. But I think we're earlier in the day today, so I shouldn't have any nuclear explosions behind my head. Item not received after a cancel because knocking me down on offered, then sent a message saying I was trying to con him and talk about the next action. I cancelled a block. Yeah, there's a lot of nutcases coming out of the woodwork. No shortage of special people, unfortunately.
Yeah. And look, as usual, you can tell when you get those ones that don't pay straight away or within a reasonable time. I mean, you can just tell. I've got one at the moment, and I know damn well, like I think I'm up to day 2 or 3, and I know I'm going to have to wait because I haven't answered my messages. I'll end up having to wait until the 4 days are up and then cancelling it. So, pain.
And I think I've said before, I actually give them 24 hours. I'll send them a payment reminder. If I haven't heard by the end of that day, or probably 8 hours after that, I'll relist that item. Just change the quantity from 0 to 1. Then, third day I'll probably block. Then fourth day I'll cancel. Buyer hasn't paid, because if they get to the 3rd or 4th day mark and they haven't paid, I don't want their business back. Unless they, exactly. Obviously, if they reach out to me and say, "Hey, look, I get paid on Thursday," I'm more than happy to wait till Thursday. But if there's no notice, there's no communication, they're gone. Yeah, Maz, do talk to eBay. Like, depending on how old they are, because I think it might be 30 days or something along the lines of that. They might be able to do it, but just to be blunt, they'll be factual, right? They won't take anything into consideration. So, if there was a scan of the post office or something along the lines of that, they'll probably look into it. But generally, when you go below standard, they won't. You kind of treat it as the ugly stepchild until you come back up.
Yeah. Yeah. G'day, Paul. Good to see you. Thanks for your My Post Business Buddy or My Business Post Buddy. How's it go?
Good morning. How are you? It's finally caught alive.
So anyone that doesn't know, Paul has created an extension for Chrome, which is called My Post Business Buddy. And it is fantastic for when you import your orders from eBay into AusPost and helps you do a lot of shortcuts and saves you heaps of time. Good on you, Paul.
Yeah. It's a totally unsponsored sponsor ad.
It is. He deserves it because it's a pretty amazing little tool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, obviously it really only applies to the Australian people in here, but it's a fantastic tool. It's like I said, I'm having an issue at the moment, and I'll probably reach out to Paul, but it's not really. Oh, there we go. I'm flashing again. It's not really a showstopper. But yeah, yes. Yeah, I thought that might have been the case. They'll just need to drop off. So, but like we said earlier, you probably need to move those really high in demand, low price items just so that they flood and get them up, because they'll reassess the cycle every 30 days. So, yeah,
it can't hurt.
Yeah, it can't hurt, but you're probably wasting your time. I'd probably be focusing on listing and selling stuff personally.
I just sold a DVD that I've had listed for at least 3 years.
Oh, really?
The reason I can tell that is, well, one, I just know because it's been sitting there for that long. But the photo I've got on the listing is absolutely woeful.
Garbage.
Jeez, I haven't even been selling on eBay that long, Wayno.
What DVD was it, Wayno?
Oh, it's garbage. The True Love.
I thought you were going to say it's like the band Garbage.
Oh, no. To be fair, this shitty movie is probably better than that band Garbage.
Yeah.
They live up to their name, that's for sure.
Yeah. So pretty much what Paul said there, it's just all percentage based. You just need to punch out more stuff and, make it like, even if your metrics at $20 and above, sell stuff at $4.99 plus post or whatever you need to do just to get it out, just to get those, those metrics diluted. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Hustle and Grow.
Chatting.
I don't think clearing the actual item specifics warning matters. I think filling out item specifics or going in and ticking the box, as I see it, is all about the activity and you actually doing things to improve your store. That's where I look at it.
So I do a step further than that. I kind of agree with Wayno. Like, realistically, it was only because Grumpy Granny went mad at me because she's seen how many I had outstanding. I don't think that they do anything because they're really obscure stuff, especially with Skylanders, because you can't. The item specifics don't even line up to it. But yeah, I'm going through that, but it's also giving me an opportunity to go through the listing, clean it up. Obviously make sure it's in the right category. It gives that listing a refresh as well. So
yeah.
I think eBay have even said, well, not eBay, but like eBay people have said that it doesn't really matter. Like, no. It doesn't have. It does matter if you don't put the genre in a DVD and people just search for thrillers, then it's not going to show up. But if you don't put the color in of the DVD,
that's
then
right.
It's not going to affect anything at all.
No.
And it's sorry, I was going to say, it's a bit like in a couple of the clothing categories I do. Like, one of them is character. And what it means is if you've got a Mickey Mouse T-shirt or something like that, you put the character in. Well, most of the women's clothing I sell does not have a character. But that is one of the actual main item specifics. Like, drives me nuts.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Wayne.
I was going to say one little hack that I do. So I use templates.
Yeah, me too.
If I'm listing VHS or cassettes or something like that, and you have to put the title in, like, even though the title's in the title, you have to put the title in the specifics. I just put C title and in my template, and then I never have to change it. I literally all I have to do is type the actual title in and add the photo and the price. So you can just pump them out so quickly. Like, no one's searching in the VHS category and then searching the title. Like,
Yeah.
You're already searching it. It's weird. It doesn't
Yeah.
make any
Yeah.
sense at all.
Yeah.
So it just saves you
So-
putting all that in.
Just out of interest, Wayne, so when you're listing a VHS, how do you start your listing off? Do you start it off VHS and then the title, or do you start it with the title and then put VHS?
I always put the title first. Yeah.
Yeah. I for some reason I found my metrics on traffic work comes better if I put VHS and then put the title. I don't know why, but yeah.
Yeah, I doubt it would make a difference. VHS is one of those categories where there's not a ton, of titles in there. Like, so you can search something and there might only be 5 of them listed. Like, whereas in the DVDs there might be 500 of them listed.
Yeah, true.
Like, yeah, I don't think it really matters what order you put it in. I was always taught when I was younger, when I worked in retail, to put your name badge always had to be on your right side because people read left to right. So that's the first thing they're going to see. So I think with a title, the first thing people are going to see, they read left to right. So they're going to read. They don't need to read VHS because that's what they're already looking for.
Yeah.
So if people are scrolling down, they're only looking at the start of the title. You want them to see the title of the tape.
Yeah.
But then I guess that would depend on how they're searching, because if you're trying to match up your title to how people search, because if I was searching for it, I'd type in VHS and then the title, wouldn't I? Yeah,
I don't know, would you?
maybe. Yeah, I would. Well, I'm a bit screwed in the head, so yeah. But that's
well, we can agree that. Yeah,
it doesn't matter what order you put the words in when you search. Like I've got this movie here, Soldier of Fortune. If I type in Fortune of Soldier, they'll all still come up. Or of Fortune Soldier. It doesn't matter. Like I do it all the time when I'm comping. If there's a long movie title, I just type 2 words in out of the title.
Yeah.
To comp it. Like it doesn't matter what order you put the words in. They're all still going to come up. They're just keywords.
Yeah, they do say the first 5 words are the most important. I think came from eBay somewhere along the line, I reckon.
That's probably what I was saying. Like people read left and right. Okay, Soldier of Fortune. I don't need to read any further because I don't want that. Yeah.
And I quite often, if I've got a really long book title too, I leave out the ofs and the and that out of the title, and I'll just put in the main words, followed by the author's name, because otherwise you end up can't fitting anything in the rest of the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Can we, Wayne, your experience, mate, would you say VHS are just sold to primarily collectors now, opposed to people that actually watch them?
100%. Yeah, I just removed a heap of them because I had them.
Yeah. They're all bottomed out, I think. I cleaned up 200.
I don't think I've sold one since we last talked about it, actually.
Well, I've sold probably quite a few, but I said this last time, I had 4,000 of them in my shed, so I've picked all the good ones out and all the half decent ones out, and got rid of the rest. So, they still sell if you got the right ones, but a lot of the ones that used to sell for $20 or $30, you can't even sell them anymore.
Yeah.
No, I'm finding that as well. Even the horror ones that I've had previously for listed high, they've all bottomed out, and I've just moved them off the shelf now. So they're in a tub ready to go to the tip or otherwise. Scotty, how are we all?
G'day, Scotty.
Good. I've seen that you were a bit triggered by a video yesterday, Scotty. Sarah, how are you? School holidays. Yeah. Well, you're not the only one that was late this morning, so you don't apologise. Thank you for extension. Life much easier now. Oh, when has disappeared?
Oh, when it's gone.
Must be question time in Parliament. Hot air explosions impacting the speed. Yeah, cameras. Yeah.
I like that one, Dave. That's good.
Yeah, I don't think much is happening in Parliament House, put it that way. Can start selling $5 notes for $4, and that in all honesty, right? So that might be the case that you have to do, is that you might have to sell something, that's really high demand for half the price just to get the sales through, because realistically, and this is on a case-by-case basis, right? Like, if it was my store where I probably needed the sales to be increased to where they should be, I would be doing a really deep cut just to get that. Do a 30 days of punishment. Obviously, because if you meet the standard tomorrow, it's not going to go up until your next elevation.
Evaluation.
Yeah,
is
that's
that
the
what
one.
you're trying to say?
I'm just having a mini stroke over here. Don't worry about me. Saw it at eBay the other day for DVDs. They were selling for $1.75 plus $4 postage with a drop-down list. Good way of getting rid of crap DVDs. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, true. Well, I guess, same old. Gets a bit of cash flow back into the system that you can then go and use to buy some good stuff.
That's right. I hate drop-down listings. Yeah, I turn my Skylanders into drop-down listings. I'm actually in the process of pushing them back to individual listings, because it's just the same thing, that I've dropped mine to a base flat rate with the Skylanders, and it's just a pain in the butt with a drop-down menu. Did anyone catch Daily Refinement Zoom call?
Sorry, those drop-down listings are bloody hard to do too. Like, when you first start doing them.
Well, they used to be really good a couple of years back, because I used to do different colours of different styles of different things, and they're fantastic, because they did. But I think people have moved away from that now. They actually want individual listings, and they pick those different things. Daily Refinement Zoom call last night on YouTube where the guy was on the toilet.
Oh, no.
No, I can't say that we did. No, I can't say we did. I'll have to go and check it out. Was that on YouTube? It was on.
Yeah, because it was Wednesday. They record the Zoom call. Chris's daily call that gets recorded onto YouTube of a Wednesday.
Yeah, okay. I'll have a look at that.
Yeah. Does that say
funny
something about the quality of the viewers?
Funny you should say. I actually watch a Funko channel, and they interviewed it's a husband and wife team. They interviewed a buyer that spent, I think he's paid $75,000 on a Funko Pop that was only, probably in existence, 10 of them made. And he was actually sitting in this, looked like a service station toilet. It was horrendous background. He basically said he films and records videos outside his bathroom. And it was just, I think if you got $75,000 to drop on a Funko Pop, mate, maybe find somewhere else to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was pretty scary. Morning, minions.
Good morning, Professor John.
Morning, Drew.
Good morning, Drew.
Did you guys see my stories the other day about the cassette tapes?
Yeah, I actually did so. That's something that I wanted to raise as well.
Yeah, so after I went through them, I noticed there was probably 5 or 6 that I actually removed because someone was going to buy them, a friend, but ages ago. But obviously we both forgot about it. But the rest of them, had been removed for whatever reason. I don't know why. There were some really good ones in there, and a lot of the ones that were still listed were garbage. I actually deleted them and got rid of all of them except for 2 or something, and there was 19. And then the ones that weren't listed, I got rid of about half of them again, and then I listed the rest. I've sold 3 of them already.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I raised that with Octo last week, that before I went away to have an operation, I had a box of about 60 books ready to be put on the shelves, because I'd listed them. They then go in the box to put on the shelves and skewed. And when I went through, there was about 25 books that, for some reason, weren't there.
Yeah, it's happened with DVDs before as well. I did DVDs a while ago, and I found a heap that weren't listed.
To that end, Wayne, have you found that they've actually relisted things that you've sold previously? Have you found that?
Yeah.
I've had that in the last week, and it's driven me crazy. I've had 8 things that I've sold in both stores that have been sold and delisted and somehow relisted by eBay. Because one store's got 50 items on it, so I know exactly what I've got. As long as if it's thousands and thousands.
I think sometimes I make the mistake of when you sell similar, and if it originally had a quantity of 2, but you've sold 1, and then you sell similar on the last one, it resets back to 2. So I've done that a few. So you just got to make sure when you sell similar, if you originally had a quantity of 2, that you change it back to 1.
Yeah,
but I have had other stuff relisted where I've only ever had one of them, and like it hasn't happened very often, but maybe a few times over the years. But it's like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
No.
Yeah, I've had it happen twice that I'm aware of, and one was when I had only ever had one Xbox game, and I'd sold it, and then, and like it was, 5 or 6 months later, someone bought it again, and of course I didn't have it because I'd already sold it because I only ever had the one. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's been something crazy, and I want to talk to Sarah about it. I might talk to her offline, just because, like, it's doing my head in with Skylanders because I've got tubs and tubs of the bloody things, and more of the obscure characters, and it's just doing my head in. When I fix up a listing, I just revise it. I don't do sell similar at the moment, because really, it's kind of a conspiracy theory though, because I think the YouTubers go in waves. If sell similar is good or sell similar is bad. I'll probably do, like I said to Granny, I was just going to fix up the 1,500 item specifics, then do the listings systematically from them. So I'll do the specifics, then I'll fix up the listing. I'll probably do that for 3 months, then see how that goes. If that doesn't do anything, then I'll start sell similar. The cycle after that. So
I think the thing that makes the most difference to sales for me is new listings. So. And that includes when eBay automatically relist it after 31 days or 30 days or whatever. So I find that, say if I listed all my cassettes on one day, that one day every month, I will sell a few cassettes. It's a lot of people look at new listings. They filter by new listings, and it doesn't matter if you've sold similar or if eBay have automatically redone it. So when a lot of people sell similar on the items they've already got ending today, and I don't do that because
don't do that.
eBay's already doing that work for you. So when I said my store's been stuffed, like a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago or something, I wasn't feeling well, and I really needed to get something moving, and I sold similar nearly maybe 3/4 of my store over like 4 days. And it made it worse because now when those 4 days came around not long ago, and I made heaps of sales. But then all the other days there's nothing because I've got no item that people also filter by ending today. So I've got no items ending today, and I've got no items starting today. When I do that, so that's why people say that's why listing every day works. Because you're going to get those initial sales, and then every month on that day, every day you're going to get sales when they get automatically registered.
So Jen, I do the same. Like I will fix up a listing that only needs something minor, or if it's a price adjustment, I just revise it. But if I look at it and it needs new photos and a good rejig, then I'll actually end it because I won't necessarily get the photos taken. Like I won't stop what I'm doing and go and take photos for one thing because I do photos batching. So I will end it then and get around to taking the photos and redoing it.
My photos are, if anything I've listed in the last couple of years, they're fine. Like I'm happy with them, but I've still got a few things, not many, but from previous and now when I see them, I just end them. Like if I'd have seen that DVD, I just would have ended it. But like if I'd have seen the listing somewhere.
Someone's taken pity on your photography skills.
But all my other photos are fine. Like I don't remove background or anything. I don't believe in that. When I say I don't believe in it, I do media. So it depends what you do. But I don't think it matters. I think it actually matters to not have the background removed for media. People want to know what they're getting. They don't want to think it's a stock photo. If they think it's a stock photo, if I think it's a stock photo, I won't buy it. I want to see that. I want to see what I'm getting. So
because it amazes me sometimes with books too, especially people will have an antique or a really old vintage book listed, and they've got a modern stock photo. like, how are you meant to even know what you're going to get?
Yeah, it's also like I don't. Even if I can see that it's the actual item, but the background's been removed and the photo's been jazzed up and stuff, I still am more skeptical. I want to know exactly what I'm getting. I don't want to get something that's been touched up in photo room. Like, it's sort of like the old. It's like it's a bit like Tinder. You don't want to put photos. You don't want to put photos of yourself 10 years ago and then you rock up and you're a big fat old bastard. You know, you want expectations to be low when you rock up.
Yeah, well, I don't get many swipes on the octopus, so unfortunately,
I don't use it. But
I don't know. I don't know about that. Depends on a mission there.
Is there a special SeaWorld version, Octo?
Oh, it could be. Like, yeah, it might even be SeaWorld. I don't know. I'll have to look into it. It might be a market niche that we can move into, Granny.
Could be.
Oz Riley, how are you? I sold a lot of John Wayne VHS, black and white classics, 90s cartoons, but they were free, and I think I'm going to go all in. Yeah, I probably wouldn't even sell, like, because that VHS that I've cleaned out, I think I paid like 9 or 10 cents of VHS last year for them, and I'd rather just get rid of them than have them sit in the store, because I'm trialing that high sell-through rate that the YouTubers are raving about at the moment, just to see if that is actually something to do. So I'm pretty much getting rid of the guck out of the store, just to see if that will help in that respect. So I'm doing a couple of things at the moment. Yeah, I think I don't know. I haven't checked on him for a while. I still watch him, but yeah, I don't think he's mentioned sealed VHS for a long time. Around 50-minute mark to the end of the vid.
Oh, yeah, that's the one with the guy on the toilet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, gotcha. All right, we'll check that out. Old School Flips, morning. How are you? Or good evening on your end. I just finished watching your podcast from yesterday where you're at the Reseller Rally and talking to Ken.
Hello.
Thrifting Mama on my list. Stock take once school goes back. I was cleaning up yesterday. I don't think I've listed any more. Yeah.
Hello, Amanda. Good to see you.
Just sold 5 bundles of Skylanders and I had 1 bag made up for. eBay's doing me dirty. Lucky I was able to get some quick bundles up for them. Stock take. Yeah, maybe it's just. I think with a variation listing, and something from what Wayne was saying with the sell similar, is that it basically, like, because I had made the mistake before with where I ended a variation listed and sell similar, but it actually restocks all the items that you had in that listing. So that's something you need to be careful of if you do a variation listing as well. Don't end sell similar because it will screw you over.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wayne's always interesting. Yeah, his takes on Tinder are second to none. I have a book I can't find today. I think I took it out of stock because of the damage and forgot to remove it in the listing. I've done that also. I'm not gonna blame eBay completely. On the other hand, I have stocks on the shelf that aren't listed in stock. Yeah. And that's part of the reason, as well as why I'm doing this fixing the listing kind of thing, just to go through them all and make sure they're all there. And there's things that I've come across, like with Wayno, it's like I found a Bonnie M or a Boney M, I can't remember how to pronounce his name, cassette. I'm like, I don't even know what the hell this thing is. So I took that.
Boney M, yeah.
What about Judder last week? Judder, he had a big stack of computer magazines. He just told us in the chat, so I'm just speaking out of school here. He had a big stack of computer magazines that he had listed for a couple of years. So he went and donated them to Savers, and the next day they sold.
No.
It was like $80 too.
Oh no! Oh, that would have hurt.
You can't drop ship that either.
Yeah.
Agree with Wayne. eBay likes new listings. Also, your monthly renewal date. If you have a store, they want to make sure that you have the dollars to cover the fee. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. True. That makes sense.
Kathan, I like that when people use the photo editor, it wipes out half your item. They still use the photo for a good laugh. Yeah, I've actually come across a couple of those in my listings today when I fixed up, but I'm just leaving them. I've just rearranged the photos to make it look like the better ones at the front. Good morning, Mary. Lots of Marys running around.
Yeah.
It's our beloved cat. This is the one we wanted to kidnap.
Oh yes, Copycat
Yes,
that
yes,
actually had some
that's right.
yeah
Accountability.
accountability. Yes.
we thought there must have been a dirty word here. We didn't. You're welcome. 5 goals per listing per week. Next week goal is to do the same plus 5 in the bank. Start as a
nice.
hobbyist. Oh, that's really good. That's excellent. You know,
Mm.
and I keep meaning to do like a draft bank, but I don't know. I must have something wrong with me that I get too excited and I just launch them all at the same time and screw myself over in the future. So
I do frequently find that when I'm doing them, even though I'm supposed to do so I've done my listings for the day, and then the rest of it I'm going to do, I'm supposed to go in the draft bank, and I either forget if I'm going to leave them in the draft bank. I just have it. I will click list now, or if I don't remember to put the scheduled date in to schedule them, same thing. Yeah, I forget to list some of them, but there's always a couple of extra in there.
I think what Granny was saying earlier about the item specifics. If I see a number there in the draft, it compels me to clear it out till 0. So it's screwing over future Octo, which it doesn't need to do.
Yes.
But I've actually stopped any new listings going into the store until I get down this listing specifics and gone through every listing individually.
Good boy. Well, see, because I find the scheduled listings extremely handy, like for today. Because my listings have gone live while we're talking, and I don't have to worry about it or stress that I'm not getting listings up of a Thursday when I'm busy doing other things. So no,
because that's fine. Like and traditionally school holidays. We've got school holidays here in Australia at the moment. I'm not really sure if Victoria have gone back already, but I find that
yes, we have.
Thrifting when school holidays are on is nightmare. There's nothing there, so I'll spend this couple of weeks just plotting my revenge and plotting my world domination aspirations. How to return on an account where I didn't have bank account details to cover the return cost. eBay pushed sales until sufficient funds existed to cover the return and crickets. Oh, okay.
Interesting. Yeah, well, it would make sense too.
Oh, we've got another one. We've got Paul.
Oh, hello.
How are you, Paul?
Hey, how you doing?
Good morning, Paul.
Hello, I've come for some accountability.
Oh, good.
Good
That's
lad.
what I'm saying.
Yes.
Surprised.
If you have any left.
The first one. What's that?
First one.
We're running dry on accountability.
Sorry to interrupt the stream with its intended purpose.
Well, it doesn't happen very often.
So I've never had 1,000 unique listings before. I have about 2,000 items behind variations and multiple quantities. So I want to do 1,000. I've got about 800 at the moment, and I want to do 1,000 in the next week. Sorry, another 200 to another 200 in the next week.
Very good. All right, we'll hold you to that.
So that's my goal.
Well, you're doing better than me, because that 200 just spazzes me out. I'm going to fall off my chair.
I'm going to cheat a little bit because I got a huge media lot. So they're fairly straightforward ones. They're a bit different from my usual.
Yeah. And what do you normally sell, Paul?
I've got a mix of all sorts of different things, but I've got I'd like to just do video game controllers and consoles ideally. But I do have a lot of media and I have a lot of computer parts and those sorts of things as I come across them.
Yeah, you might know because you hack Wii's. If I've hacked a 3DS, well, not me specifically, can I just do a factory reset on it? Do you know, or I'm trying to just remove the custom firmware on a 3DS that I picked up the other day.
Yes, you should be able to. They're usually just soft modded. Yeah. Is the mod not on the card? Like, is it the actual console or not? Because mostly the cards.
It's only a card. It's only a soft mod. I just wanted to make sure before I blew it up. I used to mod Wii's a bit, but I haven't done any 3DSs.
Yeah, usually the 3DSs is just the actual card.
I used to do them on
firmware, and you just boot the game and it does it that way. So you just take the card out.
Because I'm in two minds whether to leave it soft modded or flick it through, because it's a more of a rarer color variant. It's not a special edition or anything along the lines of that. So I paid $100 with a whole bunch of games. It's probably looking at about $300, $400, $500 console. So I'm in two minds whether to leave it as it is, then risk the buyer, bricking the console, trying to fix it or something, or do something different to it, or just factory reset it. But yeah, that's something that I'm having a bit of a conundrum at the moment with.
Yeah.
In that case, I probably would be more inclined to perhaps reset it.
Yeah,
something that's a bit rare in the console.
Yeah,
if it was a basic one, I wouldn't.
Well, that's right. That's exactly right. Yeah, if it was just a stock standard, but being the color variant, all these different things, it's probably more of a collector's piece. But I'll see what it's like. Had a return on an account. We've already done that one. Jeez.
Yeah, we did that one.
Spent 6 hours the other day looking for a book set. Yep, I've done that before.
Graham, yes, you need to get your SKUs done, Graham. I noticed he has watched my SKU video because he's left some comments. So yes, you'll have to get SKUing.
I was about to say, yeah. Even I've been doing it for a long time, and I still make that mistake. You'll have to come a long way to kidnap me. I'll do full time in 2024 in the process of learning till then. Yeah, so
very good. Octo can go anywhere to kidnap people.
Oh, that's right. That's exactly right. Stay away from waterways.
His minions. His minions. His minions can watch out for white vans.
That's right. Stay away from waterways, and you should be fine. So with the full time thing, I'm not completely sold. I probably don't fall into the trap that YouTubers sell it as being the pinnacle of reselling nirvana. So definitely just learn and go from there and see how you go. Just assess it monthly as you come up to it, and just go from there. So definitely a good goal to have there. Screwing myself currently with the scheduled listings, but I will deal with them when return from holidays. I don't like having them in the draft so they don't disappear. Yeah, I agree. Yes, it is. I agree. I mean, that's the beauty of it. But, something I have noticed, though, is that even when you do a new listing, it's actually not visible straight away. So yesterday in particular, I was actually wanting to go back. I'd listed a book by a particular author, and I wanted to go back then and check what other books I had by that author. So I typed in the author's name just in active listings search, and the new book that I had just listed didn't come up. And I thought, well, that's a bit strange. I've just listed the bloody thing. So I went back. I then searched by the book title. Still didn't come up. That book didn't show up for about 15 to 20 minutes. Yeah.
And there has been some talk that if you schedule listings, they're not getting that instant uptake from going live as such when they go live. But I think it's across the board after that little experience. And I'm going to have a check on it again today. But I think there seems to be a lot of lagging with the platform in different ways. Like even when you sell something, it doesn't show up in your sales graph straight away. It takes some time. And I think the same thing's happening when you list. The items are taking time for them to get through and go through whatever they need to go through before they show up.
You'd be more of it on top of that, wouldn't you, Paul?
Yeah, I've noticed when I've been doing edits, they take quite a while too to show up.
Mm.
Do you reckon that's because it's waiting for you reckon it's waiting for the server to refresh before it goes up?
I think it's probably what happens is as you're making all the back end changes, it's logging and scheduling those, and it just takes some time for the propagator in because there's not one server, there's lots of servers and probably lots of copies of the databases. So on the back end, it just takes a long time for that stuff to propagate around and settle down, and it makes sense for them to. Slow is cheap from eBay's point of view. If they want everything instant, that's quite expensive for them to do that. So they probably lean towards 15 minutes being okay.
Yeah, because I normally, I think I'll find I actually get the email saying the item's been listed before it actually pops up in the search. So I'll kind of use that as the marker, and I think 10 to 15 minutes is probably where it sits from my perspective as well. So.
Yeah, I bet you could find two people searching for an item, and it shows up for one and not the other as well. Because
that's right.
They're all perfectly in sync.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
Very good. I agree 100% with this. So basically, you have your listings, your auctions close about, what would you say, 7 o'clock, 7:30 on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday night. Probably Saturday or Sunday night would be the better one for me. But yeah, definitely have them ending on that. Don't have them ending at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday or something along those lines.
Don't do that. Yeah.
Because I've got some spectacular deals doing that.
Yeah, I actually do mine a little bit later. I end mine usually about 8:30, only because, and especially with summer coming up, people tend to be out and about because it's still daylight a bit earlier, and they could be having dinner or whatever. So I go that sort of the post dinner time, I reckon.
Yeah, yeah. So I think when I used to sell arcade game parts, so PCBs and all the different parts of the arcade machines that you'd see in the arcade alleys. Because I was catering to a worldwide market, I think it was about 9 p.m. on a Sunday night. I found was the sweet spot. I moved it around. I don't know how that falls into different time zones because these parts were high in demand. So people would probably just stay up for these auctions. So I found 9 p.m. on a Sunday night was the sweet spot for that. So mileage might vary. So I sold a Chuck TV series a month ago, listed in very good conditions with disc with lightly scratched. My wife found another set of marketplace 2-hour round trip, and I didn't get a negative feedback. Well, that's good. I think personally, I probably would have just, depending on how much you sold it for, I probably would have just drop shipped another copy. I don't think I would have gone for a 2-hour round trip. And that's what I don't know. You done that before, Leanne? If you've sold something that you don't have, or it's not the condition you thought it was, you just drop ship from someone else.
I haven't, because the things that I've sold that I couldn't find, you can't find them anywhere else because they're going to be an antique book or something. You really can't drop ship it. I mean, I certainly would if it was something that I could. And I mean, I've had quite a few people buy stuff off me that I'm sure they've drop shipped elsewhere. But yeah, I haven't actually had the because I mean, you're looking at like stuff like this, so you're not. Yeah, it's pretty hard to drop ship something like that. So yeah.
I think I've drop shipped off Brad and Jazz a couple of times because I've seen something in their YouTube video. It's just they might have triggered someone else to go, "Oh, I need that." Then they buy it off me. Then I don't have it, so then they pay more and drop shipping off Brad and Jazz. I do have a fixed outcome. Yeah, that's good. Oh, sorry, what?
I was just going to say, it's a true story. It's just happened. When I stopped my cam, then I went to look for something. And then I got messages and I started replying to them on my phone, and I totally forgot that I was on here. And then I was like, I could hear you guys talking. I'm like, who the fuck's talking?
Maybe you should go to the memory clinic and have a test. Why not? I think.
It's not good.
I think my memory's failing as well.
I've got an order at the moment. I showed Josh has seen this. I'll just find it. This guy wrote a massive long comment in his in the sale, asking me to completely protect it. It's like cap letters and everything. It's like a massive long paragraph. I can't find the DVD.
No. Well, Coppercat, you're lucky that you've got that outside income, because I sort of got thrown into reselling because I, basically my income had stopped. So that happens to some people. They get thrown into it, and it certainly would be easy to ease into it and learn while you've still got some other income coming in.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good way of having it. What was the PS1 game, Sarah? I cleared out a whole bunch of them.
I'm gonna head off. I've got to try and find this bloody DVD.
All right, well, thanks for popping on and rescuing me.
Good luck. Well, you see, this is what you get for not having a SKU system, Wayno.
I'm sure I'll find it.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk to you next time. Thanks for popping on.
Cheers.
Bye. Oh, he's gone.
I thought I'd show you my beautiful. This is one of my set of 5. Beautiful.
We'll see how long he realizes he's still here. There he goes. He's gone now.
There he goes.
Oh, no, he's back.
He's back. These are the books I got given yesterday.
Oh, yeah. With the Bible.
Just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And it's a set of 5, and it's a Bible commentary for English readers.
Oh, nice.
Interesting. Yeah, antique. Yeah, beautiful.
And my auction's 11:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay. Yep.
Okay. Oh, so that you can catch that West Coast time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that would make sense.
Oh, John's back. I don't recall signing a. Oh, look at that! He's onto you, Paul.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh,
You're on
no.
another channel.
Yes. Yeah, put it this way, he's quite spicy, mate. So he's going to come after you. And I suggest locking the doors. To wipe out 2097. Yeah, okay. So what kind of thing? You said you got a media lot you're listing this week, are you, Paul? I mean, like, is it 200 you're doing? I missed that.
Yeah, I'm going to a little bit over 200. I'll aim to do. I picked up this big lot of. They said it was 500, but I think it was 5 IKEA bags. So I think it was well over 500. And I've gone through and I've got 2 IKEA bags just of TV shows, and another one of good stuff, and probably 2 that I'll just pass on.
Yeah.
So there's 3 bags of stuff.
Sounds like a good lot, anyway.
It was crazy. It was $150, and she threw in a bag of CDs, and about half of them were sealed. So
Geez, nice.
I've done really well out of that one.
If worst case, then you just use them as frisbees and take people out.
Yeah, well, the other half were a bit junky, but the cases are good, so I've just sacrificed them to rebuild some of my other ones. So that was it's reinvigorated me a little bit on media, because I've gone away from it a little bit. But the sealed stuff is good. Lots of sealed stuff.
Yeah, and it's all about what's available to you too, I think. I mean, that's part of the reason I steered away from it with DVDs, because I just can't get the quality here. And the shops here don't get that. Like, there's not a high turnover of them, so there's not new stuff coming in. Because, my local op shop, for example, like, they don't rotate stuff. They don't take stuff off the shelf and put some new stuff out if that stuff hasn't sold. What's there will just sit there, and they'll only fill up the gaps, So, yeah, most of the op shops around here are a bit like that.
Yeah, and I think because I'm not very niche down, I've got 7 or 8 things that I do. It means that I've got a lot more opportunities to grab those big, really good lots when they come up. Like, if I was only doing DVDs, there wouldn't be so many of those available to me. But I'll happily take a stack of 40 computers just as easily as I'll take a big bag of CDs.
Yeah. And I find that I've moved away from DVDs completely now. I'll still dabble in anime because I don't mind doing that, because I know that market pretty well. But I just find that, and this is what I've said previously, is that a lot of, especially around here, is that a lot of the Facebook Marketplace DVD hauls are just reseller seconds. So you're good. I don't know what it's like up there, but it was good that you stumbled across that, especially with the sealed CDs. Yeah,
I don't think I've got a lot of eBay competition. On John's stream, there's a couple of people that are local to me, but they seem to be selling completely different stuff to me.
Yeah, because you're up in Queensland, is that right?
Yeah, I'm up in central Queensland near Rockhampton.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. No, I've been up there a couple of times on exercise, so can't stand Rockhampton. I won't hold that against you.
No, that's all right. In terms of daylight savings, Queensland's an hour behind, but Rockhampton, I think, is way more than an hour behind.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting what I was going to say. But thanks for that. Everyone can breathe a sigh of relief. Wayno has found his missing DVD.
Yay! That's very good. So what time is it in Queensland now?
It's 10 o'clock.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so when our time zone just stays the same, so everyone else pushes forward by an hour for half a year.
So you guys don't do daylight savings at all?
No, it was. I think it's probably 30 years ago. It was trialed for a few years, and it went away.
Because we're now 3 hours. North. Yeah, because I think we're now 3 hours ahead of Western Australia. Which, yeah.
So Queensland's 2 hours ahead of Western Australia. We're 3. So then South Australia's like an hour and a half behind, and it's a crazy.
I guess so. I mean, we're lucky. We are lucky that it's only 3 hours is like the max, I think, isn't it? So we're lucky that it's not as bad. Like, because if you lived in America, like, your difference between your north and your east and your that totally confuses me.
Yeah, I thought they were only 3 hours there as well, but I don't know. One of the Americans in the chat might be able to tell us what West Coast to East Coast is.
Oh yeah, but they have different time zones. They're in different
Yeah,
time zones.
they got mountain times and all those different things. Pacific Standard Time, I think that because I get like I said before, I order a line off one of those YouTubers I mentioned earlier on the East Coast. And all the different. I have to jump in the group chat and ask what time it is because I never know what time it is. Getting out of low end DVDs, I just don't get excited about $7 sales anymore, and it's just going to get worse, especially when I don't know if you use track postage or you use stamps, but stamps go to $3 next year, and track postage will probably follow and go up a bit higher than that as well. So.
And it's really taking that with the postage, particularly the stamps going up. I think it's going to make a big difference to the resellers that do those lower end DVD sales that are working on a volume based business rather than a higher ASP business with less sales. But it's really going to do damage to their businesses, I think, with that that cutting into their profit.
Yeah, and it's just, I suppose you just need to be agile, don't you, Granny? By the way, that video didn't do that video didn't do as well as I was expecting. So, but like, I just really think that, like I said, I'm trying to get my ASP minimum over $50, and it's going to take me a long time. I'm under no illusions of grandeur.
Yeah, that's high, isn't it? Yeah.
But when I get that cha-ching sound, or when I get a notification from eBay, I want to see at least a substantial amount of money, not a $7 DVD.
Yes, no, that's true. So
it's fine. It's fine when there's a couple, but when you go to do your packing and you've had a big weekend and it's $5 and $7 DVDs and it's taken you an hour to pack them all for not much.
Yeah, but
that's right.
And that's what I look at. Like I've been having some talking with some other booksellers that were doing more that volume model, and the money they were making, they were coming out with a $1, $2, maybe $3 profit on a book. And I finally think I got through to them a bit more when I actually said to them, it takes you the same amount of time to make that dollar profit as it does for me to make a $10 to $15 profit, because we're both listing a book, but I'm selling my book for more, and I'm doing the plus postage, which they were doing free postage then. And so they've actually realised, because in the end you can keep doing that, but at the end, how much is your time worth? And at the end of the month, are you actually making enough money to make it worth your while? Because it is a lot of work. So my average sales price at the moment, my ASP is $51.18.
Yeah. I think a lot of sellers need to start first with what they think they're worth as an hourly rate.
Yeah.
And I think people need to value themselves higher than what they do, and then really break it down and work backwards on whether it's worth it. Like my local Domino's store sent flyers around looking for drivers, and on a Sunday, I think they pay $58 an hour delivering pizzas. And I'm in a fairly small town with about 8,000 people. So they're pretty short trips. I would think you'd get, it's not like you're doing big, long driving trips. I don't think it'd be a ton of fuel. And I think you got to keep that in perspective. Is it worth, how many DVDs have you got to sell in a day to equal doing a couple of hours down at the local Domino's?
Yeah, very true. Yeah.
I wonder if people would mind if I took a piece of pizza just for a driving tax.
GST,
Because that's my biggest problem. Wanting to get faster on listing pre.
Can you put a delivery order in for yourself at the end of the night?
Oh, that's right. Well, that's right.
Get paid to take your own.
I wonder if surely they'd have to rule against that, because I would have thought of that by now. Listing pre-owned clothing, ironing, searching faults, photos, measuring. 40 minutes per item. Is there a YouTuber that that offers advice or a fast process? I know, Daily Refinement probably, or Tech and Sports and their channels that might be able to provide, more of a going. It really depends what kind of clothes you're after. I've moved.
I mean, most of us do to a certain extent. Like, most of the YouTubers will have some sort that do clothing. Will have some sort of tips on how to decrease the amount of time you're spending. 40 minutes an item's probably, but that's all up, because most of the time when you hear people saying that they're listing, and they're listing it very quickly, That's actually them just putting it in the computer. They've already got
That's
their photos taken. They've already processed the clothes. And so my thought for you is, instead of doing it all one thing on one item and going through the whole process and doing all your steps, you would be better off batching. So you get your clothes. And so what I do is, the night before, I get all my clothes ready and I go through them as much as I can. You know, if they need a bit of, I don't iron, I do a bit of steaming, occasionally a bit of ironing if I have to, but get them all ready to be photographed. Then the next morning I will photograph them all, and I do the measurements in the photos. I don't write the measurements down. I put the ruler down and take a photo of that. And then, so you've got everything ready that you can go and do your listing with. So, you know, do how many items you want to do a day. So if you want to do 5, you know, prep your 5 clothes the night before, and then the next morning take your photos and do your measurements, and then in the afternoon you list them. So do it as a process rather than doing, because it does take a lot longer if you're going through each step of the way with one item.
Yeah, and what Granny was saying as well, like for like as well. List all the jeans together, listen all the blouses or whatever you're listing all in one. You don't want to chop and change between the two. It might even be a case of niching down into specific clothing as well. Like I was going to say before, Granny said her part. That sounded horrible. That I didn't mean it to. But what I was going to say is I've moved away from men's tops and tops entirely, unless it's stupidly, profitable or something along the lines of that, because I can't stand it. It'll take me 20 seconds to measure a pair of jeans and photograph them, but for a top, it'll take me forever and ever and ever. And it might be the same case in that respect. You might have to get something that's quite quickly to list, or you just focus on women's tops, women's skirts, women's dresses, or something along the lines of that, and you just let everything by the wayside.
And buy clothing that doesn't need ironing.
Yes. Queensland's the backward state.
I will say too, if you are happen to be doing, say, the men's shirts, right, that are going to crease and stuff, but if you actually put them in the dryer, if you do happen to do it that way, or even if you put them on the clothesline, then actually put them in a stack and stack more on top of each other, and you'll find that will flatten it out and you'll very likely won't have to iron.
I don't iron. I just put them in the dryer for about 20 seconds, 30 seconds to get the wrinkles out.
And if they're warm, when you do put them in the stack, they'll flatten right out.
Paying the car off 2.5 years later, hubby and I have left management positions to sell full time. Oh, that's excellent. Yeah, that's good.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's definitely...
That's great, Jane. That is really good.
Yeah, that's good. John's the reseller, the monster truck jams from Spin Masters are clearing in stores.
Ooh.
4 time zones, but when you add Alaska and Hawaii, it adds 2 more time zones.
Oh, wow.
I live in Central Time, 1 hour behind Eastern, so it's 7 p.m. Wednesday. Okay. So we're coming from the future. Look at that.
Yes, we are. We're coming from your tomorrow.
Grumpy Granny's hair is looking majestic, free from the curls. Yeah. I think that's more to do with it. She was running behind.
Well, no, for the live stream, I just thought, I thought I'd do the whole different thing for the live stream.
Yeah, my work time goes by. I don't check with the missus. Okay. Most of the country follows daylight savings, not all states. And we've got the same thing. So we're Paulies in Queensland. We're the state directly below that. So we've got daylight savings times and they don't. If you lived on the border and worked in Queensland, I'd hate to, or vice versa, I'd hate to be in that situation. So, clothing steamer apparently speeds up the process.
Yes, it does.
Batching. Oh, look, John's hair's standing up on end. He's a bit excited by the looks of it. A day ahead for listing items. The next day is batch ready to go, so it's streamlined. Yeah, and a lot of people, like I said, the daily refinement, and TAC as well says that basically have your stuff ready the night before and just go from there.
Yeah.
Batching is life. Skew, put them away, then computer work. Okay, I do a bit backward. I do it. I put them away after I do it because I normally refer to them when I'm on the computer.
Yeah, I do it after I've done it on the computer, just in case I need to look at it again for some reason. Like sometimes there'll be something in a photo you can't quite see clearly, or you think, oh, I better double check that. So yeah, it's easier just to have them nearby and you can just grab it, because that just again saves you more time, I think.
So I use collapsible tubs for my SKU system. Like I said before, I use numeric order and all those different things. So I'll put them in that tub in numeric order, then have them sitting next to me until I finish that tub. Then I'll move them to their storage shed from there. So the annoying thing about clothes is when I get the bright lights on them, I can't see the mark. Yeah, so
yeah. And look, you can prep your clothes, you can wash them, you can, iron them and all that sort of stuff. And you can think you've got a really good thing to sell and you hang it up on the hanger, or whether you're doing a flat lay or a hanging, photo system, and you hang it up and your lights are shining on it and you look at it through the camera lens. And often that's the first time that you actually see that there is a problem.
Yeah. You can't do much about it, unfortunately.
No.
Morning, Sam. How are you? Templates.
Morning, Sam.
30 templates. I've only got about 7, I think.
I think I can probably beat you.
Leanne likes her templates.
I like
Chris. Oh, look at that. She's doing a book call with you for book sourcing. Oh, look at that. Chris has already booked you in, Leanne.
10 templates I've got.
I am.
Yeah, I think I've only got about 10 as well. Oh, I think we might wrap it up. Before
hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. I've got exactly 40 templates.
So what do you, like, before we go and before I answer Maz's question, what do you have that many templates for?
So the first 2 templates I've got, first 3 actually are my jeans. So I have one for men's jeans, one for women's jeans, and one for shorts because, because you can have up to 50, so it doesn't matter to me. Like, I have one for VHS for untested bundles. I have one for vinyl records, action and collectible figures. I have one for the Scholastic fiction, Scholastic Apple books.
Yep.
I have another one which is just a general book one. Then I have children's hardcover picture books, first edition modern hardcover with no dust jacket, one with dust jacket, pictorial board hardcover, no dust jacket, with dust jacket, etc., etc. Then I go down, I've got one for ex-library books so that I don't have to put the extra blurb in about the fact that it's got stickers and stamps and stuff. I have one at the moment because I'm listing a lot of pan books. I've got one that I've made up for pan books. Then I've got a bulk one that I use for my bulk listings, bulk romance, caps and hats, and then all the clothing sections. So, men's tops, men's jumpers, women's jackets, women's jumpers, skirts, tops, pants, dolls and bears, DVDs, but they can be deleted now because I'm not selling those. And then plush, and then I have, with the VHS, I have one for VHS that I've tested and one for VHS that I haven't tested. So there you go.
Geez, that's a lot.
It is. But look, my thing is, because you can have 50, it doesn't matter. So if I'm doing VHS, and say I've got just a general one, and then all of a sudden I get a whole heap of, say, John Wayne VHS videos, like I'll just make another template that's got all that information in it, especially if they're all from the same studio, because then I can just have all that information in there. All I'd literally have to change is the actual name of the movie each time I listed it, if that makes sense. If I use a template, rather than having to redo the same thing over and over again. And it's just as quick as doing a sell similar off your same listing, but you don't have to delete the photos off the first listing. You can just, so it's quicker.
Yeah. So I normally, not to drag it out, but I use probably DVD and media, right? So they're basically all that, and I'll just manipulate the VHS to fit into that category. So instead of having 400 different listing templates, I probably got about 10. A lot of video games, consoles fall into one. DVDs, VHS fall under another. Jeans, men's, women's, kids, whatever fall into that category, and all those different things. Pants, shirt. Oh, sorry, there's only one list. There's jeans, and then there's clothing. So everything else that doesn't fall into the jeans category falls into the clothing template. So
well, see, I have that all broken down to tops, pants.
I wish eBay would let you set the promotional rate in the template. That'd be good.
Yeah, wouldn't it be great? That would be
I feel like
excellent.
that's the only real thing I'm scrolling to the bottom to change every time.
Yeah. So I just use a flat rate dynamic. I think it was, what did I say, Leanne? 5%. That's what I'm rolling off.
So
and on my other stores, 2%. So
yeah, and I've actually just changed mine. So I turned all mine off while I was away, and then I turned them back on. But I've still got them automated. But for each category, I've got a different rate because I know, like with some things that are rarer books, they don't need to be at the higher rate that, say, a more modern book would need to be, or a pair of jeans would need to be.
Yeah, no, it's. I just use set and forget. As horrible as that is, I don't recommend doing that. But that works for me because I'm more of a speed person. I don't want to sacrifice speed for it. So to clear the death pile room, how long do you want to give yourself to do that? So
we're going to have that done by next week, do you reckon, Anthony, or is that will it take a bit longer?
I was about to say, give us some sort of a timeline because accountability needs a timeline.
It does.
Quality check different lighting situations in the whole listing process. Yep. Using templates. Yeah, Sam doesn't use templates.
Well, if you need to know how to do it, Sam, Grumpy Granny made a video. Go and check out my YouTube channel.
Good night, Mary. I think I've said that before, but if you're still here, good night.
Good night, Mary.
That's the closed only. The same again for books. Okay. Yeah, so she's got. But like I said, my book template is just one template, and I'll just manipulate. I pretty much have the same thing. Like I'll have the little description, which is a 1-sentence line, which is pretty much a copy and paste from the title. Then a different section called item condition. And I think my template says acceptable, good, like new, all those different things. And I just delete what's not relevant. Then it just leaves it as the rest. Then all the rest is pretty much the same. So it takes me 2 seconds to delete a couple of keywords out of the text and copy across. Then I could just print, 0.1 of a second clicking on that template as opposed to looking for the specific one that needs.
But I mean, you're certainly not selling the quantity of books that I'm doing.
No, that's right. But like I said, and that's right. Because everyone knows that I hate books. I sell a fair bit of manga, and that's pretty much where the template came from originally. But like I said, that because by virtue and everyone's different, right? So it's not saying that my way's better or Leanne's way's better. It's just a matter of the fact that if you're niching into if you've got a strong niche in something, create a template because it might make it easier for that. But I don't necessarily agree with creating a template for every subsection. But that's me personally. But
and that's the thing. Books are unique. And go on, Paul. You go.
So sorry. Books are also way less painful if you have a barcode scanner, even if it's just a $30 cheapie, because straight in that UPC field, you click in it and scan it, and it'll just fill out. So the old
not when Leanne's books are older than she is.
So books are pretty good. Movies and most video games have really good support for the UPC. And but audio CDs are terrible. So if someone's doing lots of books, I think it's definitely worth grabbing a barcode scanner. And even when you do your price comping on the search page, so if you're in the search field, you don't have to type the name of the book, this barcode scanner.
And just if you're doing a lot of more modern books that do have barcodes, I would say definitely. But I would guess like probably 70% maybe of my books don't have a barcode anyway.
Leanne operates out of a haunted library, so I don't think it's going to help her. But no, you're right. So basically, I use a barcode scanner as well. I'll do that, enter it in. But I find that the barcode scan prices are a bit high compared to everything else. So I'll use that as a cursory glance at the op shop or the thrift store if buy a quick barcode scan. Then I'll do some follow up from that. But definitely like things with UPC codes attached to the back of them. So
so I'm just looking at my little pile of stuff that I'm working on here, and I've looked at about 10 books, and so far I've found 2 with barcodes. So there are a few more modern ones there, but the majority.
Not everything's in there. Not everything's in there either. But I'd say books. The stuff I do anyway. If I do books, they're usually textbooks or technical books. I'd say 90% they're in there. Movies, I'd say, are probably 95%, and CDs are like the opposite, about 10% for some reason.
Because the only books I'll touch is manga or like Warhammer, Dungeons and Dragons, those rule books for all those different things, and probably a bit of horror as well, or paranormal. And I think I've said it's to Leanne before, is that if it's obscure like occult or paranormal or cryptids or something along that, I'll pick it up, without even looking at it, or witchcraft. But if it's just a stock standard, stuff that like Mel sells and sources, I don't even look at it. Don't even give a glance. Don't even care.
Yeah, self-help, I think, is good. The more messed up, the better.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's exactly right. So, like, the more nichey it is, the better it is. So.
And vintage medical books sell surprisingly well. But I secretly think Octo gets the witchcraft books so that he can make spells.
Yeah, well, you're still here, so they're not working.
What's the number of that?
Barcode scan recommendations. They're really much for muchness. They just get a USB one that plugs in the back of your computer or your laptop, and off you go. I just bought, like Paul said, I bought a flat bed one, the one that sits on your desk, which is probably not the best way to do it. Probably get a handheld one that scans. But yeah, Paul might have some that he recommends, but I'll just go find the cheapest one. And they'll all work the same. Yeah,
the one you'll see them described as 1D. They're just normal barcodes. If they say 2D, they do QR codes, which you probably don't need those.
Yeah, the one that I use picks up the QR codes and it sends me insane because the barcode and the QR codes more often than not next to each other.
Yeah.
But
his books only have pictures in it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I think Drew's about to start his live, so we might wrap up here.
Yes.
And then you can all move over to Drew's channel, Drew Trott. We can go harass him. So we'll wrap up for another week. Thanks for popping on, Paul. Once again, did you want to do a little plug of your My Post Buddy thing? Did you want to tell people about what it is, where to find it, how to do it? You probably do a better job than Granny and
I. No.
No, you know? No, that's all right.
And when you do go in and get your My Business Post Buddy, I got it right that time. You can also click on the little coffee cup icon when you go to do your settings and buy Paul a cup of coffee because it's worth it.
Oh, thank you for that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely worth it. Like, yeah. Oh, sorry, Paul. We'll cut you off.
No, you're right. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I only found it by virtue. I think Leanne said it, or it might have been John mentioned it. It was like very obscure. I went and looked for it. It took me about 2 or 3 seconds to find it, booted it up. It was fantastic. Normally when it would take me a couple of minutes to do an item postage and all these different things, it was, knocking it down quite quickly. Like I said to Paul, I've had some issues with the comment field, by virtue that I normally put the Disgruntled Octopus in that subsection just for a little bit of marketing. But when I changed between stores, it's actually dropped it off. But now I've got over that and just leave it as the number it automatically randomly generates because, like I said, it's a time-consuming thing, so I don't really care anymore. And people aren't reading the postage label, so.
I'm not sure whether if you grab a few screenshots or video, just send it over.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take a couple of screenshots. I have taken photos since we last chatted, but they since got deleted in the purge that I did on my phone camera. So I'll need to take some more. But like I said, it's not a showstopper for me. Yeah, originally I was typing over the top, but like Drew was saying in our previous video, is that the retention or the repeat customer rate is not there. So I said, I'm not really too concerned about it. So
I have an update coming soon that fixes the transactions page.
Okay.
So there was, eBay, Ozpost used to have the history page that showed your previous transactions, and they've renamed that to a transactions page and completely rebuilt it. So that broke that. So that'll come back so people can work out what their spend has been over the last 28 days. So they know what band they're eligible for, because that's hard to work out.
Yeah,
band one, the way my sales are going at the moment. Angela recommends it, so or Angela's Python.
Hi Angela.
Might be Angela's Python. The Python might have done away with Angela, but it's definitely like we said before. We're not sponsored. We're not doing it for any gain, but no, it's definitely a phenomenal system that it's saved us so much time.
We're plugging it because we think it's fantastic. There you go.
Yeah, there's an eBay one in the works as well. So one day.
Ooh. Don't tempt that.
It's a bigger one. Yeah.
No, it's good. Well, like I said, this if it's anything like the My Post Business one, it's fantastic. It will be fantastic. So like Leanne said, there's a little coffee thing there. I think set to $5 a coffee, is it, Paul, from memory? Yeah. Just I've said to Paul previously, I think you should charge $4.99 for the app. Everyone else seems to charge for their app. So, but it's up to his prerogative. But a coffee cup goes a long way. The amount of time it will save you in the long run, I think $5 is more than worth it.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah, right now it'll stay free. I don't have any plans to change it. If I do, it'll only be because there's some amazing new thing that I'll add at another tier or something. But I think,
but like I said, the price of a coffee, it is a phenomenal time saver. So make sure that if you do that way. Oh, hi there.
Yeah, it does give me a little burst of inspiration when one comes through. I'm like, okay, I'll log in and do half an hour's work on it and get that update out. So it's,
we did do a little bit of a spruik the other night, so I think you might have had a bit of a spike in coffee sales.
my phone blew up there for a while. I didn't know what was going on.
Because there were a lot of people using it, but they didn't actually realise that. And there were some new ones that then got it, but they didn't realise they could buy your coffee. So there were a few that went over and bought your coffee, which is good.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's actually when you click on the item on the little icon, it should come up with the settings and a little coffee cup on the right.
So on the right, near where it's got your little icon for your account or whatever, there's a little jigsaw piece that looks like that says extensions. If you just click on that, and then you can go to My Post Buddy, and once you click on the My Post Business Buddy thing, then a little sign will pop up with two little people, and you've got your settings. What's that one? The info, I'm guessing, and then the coffee cup picture.
Oh, thanks, Sarah.
Look at that. We're driving your sales, mate. You won't have to go selling eBay anymore.
Positive ROI this stream.
Well, that's exactly right. There you go. Well, at least someone's getting paid for this stream, Leanne.
Well, that's good, isn't it? Yeah, not us. Caitlin's found it, so that's good.
That's good.
We'll have to start a donut sponsorship. Or something.
It's fine. No, just keep pumping up the updates because it's fantastic. Just make sure it doesn't fall over. But Drew started now. We don't want to irk Drew.
I have to go.
Yes.
But thank you, Paul, for jumping on. Leanne looks like she needs to get back to participate in the Squid Games by the look of her jumper. So, but everyone, thank you very much for popping back on. We'll have a new episode out on Tuesday, and the next live stream will be 10 a.m. Leanne next Thursday.
Can I blame it on daylight saving?
I was about to say, well, I'm blaming it on daylight savings. I was about to say I can't talk because the stream was geared to 11 a.m. So, but thank you everyone in the chat for popping on, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Well, where we go. This is the awkward time we have, Paul. We don't know where the button is.
Yeah.
So we just have to sit here and wave and smile.
The button, so we just silly.